Hello, everyone. Engines roar, tires screech, metal twists, and disaster strikes without warning. These aren't just accidents, they're catastrophic wrecks. Witness the most shocking, pulse-pounding, and jaw-dropping car crashes ever caught on camera. Hold on tight, because this is gonna be a ride you won't forget. Talk about reckless driving. Watch as this car speeds out of control, trying to overtake another car, only to smash into another car and flip upside down. A perfect example of why speeding never ends well. That's one way to test gravity. Overspeeding on that bridge resulted in a horrifying moment as the car flew off the bridge. Speed limits are there for a reason. No good comes from ignoring them. Trying to overtake in the truck lane, not the smartest move. Watch as this car's risky move ends in disaster, getting crushed under the truck. Lesson learned, some lanes are off limits for a reason. Talk about a close call. The SUV dangerously cuts off the truck, and even the driver hits the brakes hard. Yet, it was not enough. The result? A crash that sends steel rolls flying off the truck. That's what happens when you park in the wrong spot. A speeding car slams into the open door of a parked car. A dangerous reminder to always park in the right place and stay alert. One car's green light, another's bad decisions. The consequences? A crash that could have been avoided if the reckless driver followed the rules. A perfect example of why you should never run a red light, no matter what. Talk about a nightmare on the road. A car minding its business in its lane is suddenly hit by a speeding truck from behind. The impact sends the car straight into another truck coming from the opposite lane. Speeding near big vehicles is never a good idea. This could have been way worse. Just when you think things can't get crazier, this car comes out of nowhere, hits the scooter, and sends the riders flying. And the driver takes off like nothing happened. Unbelievable. Looks like this car wanted to take the shortcut over the roundabout, except it took it a bit too literally. Guess they were trying to jump into the fast lane. Even an emergency can't escape chaos on the roads. The ambulance runs the red light, but a truck and a car from the other lane crash into it. It's like a game of who's gonna stop for who. And nobody wins. The red SUV is just starting to go when, bam, a car completely ignores the red light and slams into it. This is why running red lights never ends well. Just lucky nobody was seriously hurt. Think you can outrun a turn? Think again. Watch as this car tries to squeeze through, overtakes too soon, and ends up crashing into the car in front, sending itself into a skid. That's what happens when you try to beat the road. You always lose. Talk about a drive-through disaster. The driver meant to hit the brake, but instead they gave the accelerator a little too much gas. The result? A crash course in how not to park, straight into the shop front. Talk about a tight squeeze. Watch as this bus with no room to move ends up slamming into the parked car. Looks like someone forgot to leave enough space for the big guys. You're driving along when someone tries to overtake with no space at all, hitting the car on your right. Suddenly you're sliding uncontrollably, smashing into the road divider. A car stuck in the middle of the highway. What a nightmare! The speeding driver doesn't see it in time and crashes right into it. Never forget how quickly things can go from normal to disastrous on the road. Just when you think it's safe to overtake, this car finds itself sliding off the road after a risky move. A perfect example of how pushing your luck on the road can quickly go sideways. Trying to skip the traffic, not in snowy conditions. Watch as this driver attempts to overtake the line of cars, only to skid out of control and slam into the vehicles ahead. Some risks aren't worth taking, especially when the weather's against you. Talk about bad timing. This car makes the turn a little too late, ends up hitting the footpath, and crashes straight into a tree. A simple turn turned into a big mess. Sometimes it's just about making that move on time. That's why you should never assume the road is safe, even with a green light. The car moves ahead cautiously on the snow-covered road, only for a truck to blow through the red light, crashing into it and leaving nothing but wreckage behind. In a split second, a risky move turns into chaos. The car attempts to overtake, but with no space, it collides with an oncoming vehicle. That's the price of impatience on the road. In a blink, this speeding car loses control, crashing into the light pole with such force that it bends in half. The pole flickers, then goes dark, leaving nothing but destruction. A terrifying reminder of how quickly things can spiral out of control. These crashes show just how fast disaster can strike. 1 second, everything's fine. The next, chaos. But don't go anywhere yet. Hit the next video for even more unbelievable moments. Tell us which crash blew your mind in the comments, and make sure to subscribe for the wildest footage. Keep your wits about you because this road's not slowing down.